Have you ever felt like you operate on a completely different frequency than the rest of the world? As if you are observing humanity from behind a pane of one-way glass, seeing everything, feeling everything, yet remaining entirely unseen by the masses? According to the deeper echelons of psychology, if you possess a specific combination of traits, you are not broken, you are not antisocial, and you are certainly not weird. You are looking at the psychological blueprint of a genuinely good person. And the reality is, people like this are exceedingly rare. They are the anomalies in a society that often rewards superficiality and manipulation. If you resonate with the following 5 traits, you belong to a very small, quiet, and profoundly powerful minority. First, they are almost always alone. But let us be exceptionally clear about this. Their solitude is not born out of a hatred for humanity, nor is it a byproduct of social anxiety or an inability to connect. In fact, it is the exact opposite. They are alone because they have discovered something that the vast majority of the population will spend their entire lives running away from. They have discovered that peace is quieter, softer, and infinitely more honest in solitude. From a psychological standpoint, this is a sign of high internal security and advanced nervous system regulation. Most people use constant social interaction as a numbing agent. They need the noise of a crowd, the validation of a text message, or the shallow banter of a Friday night out to drown out the deafening silence of their own minds. They require constant company because they are terrified of who they are when no one else is watching. Genuinely good people do not need this external scaffolding to hold up their identity. They are completely and unapologetically comfortable with who they are in the dark. Their alone time is not an exile. It is a sanctuary. It is a deliberate recalibration of their energy. When you are a person who operates with genuine intentions, navigating a world filled with hidden agendas is exhausting. The solitude they crave is essentially an energetic detox. It is the only place where they do not have to filter, interpret, or defend themselves. They can simply exist. If you find yourself frequently choosing a quiet evening with your own thoughts over a crowded room of meaningless conversation, understand that this is not a deficit in your personality. It is a psychological triumph. You have mastered the art of being your own safest space. Second, they overthink absolutely everything. Life, people, mistakes, heartbreak, the past, the future, the unsaid words, the lingering glances. Their mind is a relentless engine that simply never stops analyzing. However, society often mislabels this as mere anxiety or neuroticism. In the realm of advanced psychology, this is known as deep cognitive processing. They do not just experience life, they dissect it. They feel everything infinitely more deeply than the average person even notices. When they experience a moment, whether it is a profound heartbreak or a simple fleeting interaction at a coffee shop, they do not just let it pass. They turn it over in their minds, examining it from every conceivable angle, extracting the lesson, the meaning, and the truth hidden beneath the surface. This level of intense mental processing means that they are constantly replaying moments that others forget instantly. They will remember the exact tone of your voice when you said something hurtful 3 years ago. They will remember the shift in your posture when you lied. Because their brains are wired to seek absolute truth and authenticity, they cannot accept things at face value. They must understand the why behind the what. While this makes them incredibly wise, deeply empathetic, and profound problem solvers, it is also their heaviest burden. The psychological toll of feeling the weight of the world, of analyzing every variable to avoid hurting others or making the wrong choice, is exhausting. If your mind feels like a labyrinth of interconnected thoughts, memories, and profound emotional echoes, it is because your psychological hard drive is processing data at a depth most people do not even have the capacity to access. You are not overthinking because you are weak. You are overthinking because your emotional intelligence demands a comprehensive understanding of your reality. Third, they read people like open books. This is perhaps one of their most powerful and intimidating psychological traits. You cannot lie to them. Well, you can try, but it is an exercise in futility. It only takes one look, one sentence, or even a brief moment of shared silence for them to decode your truest intentions. They are human lie detectors, operating on a level of subconscious pattern recognition that borders on the supernatural. In psychology, this is referred to as high affective empathy combined with hyper-vigilance. They do not just listen to the words you are saying, they listen to everything you are desperately trying to hide. They sense energy shifts the moment you walk into a room. They notice the microscopic changes in your tone of voice, the slight hesitation before you answer a question, the fleeting micro-expressions on your face, and the hidden emotional patterns that dictate your behavior. Often, they have entirely figured you out before you have even finished your first sentence. This trait is usually birthed from a history of needing to understand the emotional climates of others to survive, which evolves into a masterclass level of emotional intelligence in adulthood. The fascinating paradox here is that despite knowing exactly who someone is, genuinely good people will often play along. They will stay quiet, observing the manipulation, watching the masks slip, and allowing people to reveal themselves in their own time. They do not do this to be deceptive. They do this to protect their own peace. They know that confronting a liar with the truth usually only breeds more chaos. So they sit back, they nod, and they silently adjust their boundaries. If you find yourself instantly knowing someone's true character within minutes of meeting them, do not doubt your intuition. Your subconscious mind is picking up on thousands of micro data points that your conscious mind has not yet translated. Trust it. Fourth, they do not trust easily. To an outsider, this might make them appear guarded, detached, or even cold. But this lack of immediate trust has absolutely nothing to do with a lack of warmth. It is a highly calibrated defense mechanism. They do not trust easily because they have seen too many masks fall. They have heard too many empty promises that inevitably turned into devastating lies. They have felt the sting of betrayal from the very people who swore they would protect them. When a genuinely good person loves or gives, they do it with their entire soul. They do not know how to love in halves. Because their investment is so absolute, the cost of betrayal is catastrophically high. Psychologically, their guardedness is a manifestation of self-respect. They have learned the hard way that not everyone deserves access to their energy, their heart, or their mind. Trust for them is not freely given as a courtesy. It is a premium currency that must be painstakingly earned over time through consistent, observable actions. They watch how you behave when you are angry. They observe how you treat people who can do nothing for you. They take mental notes on whether your actions align with your words over a long period. If there is a discrepancy between what you say and what you do, they will instantly retreat behind their fortress. This high barrier to entry ensures that when they finally do let someone in, the connection is profound, secure, and authentic. If you are someone who builds walls not to keep everyone out, but to see who is willing to climb them, understand that your guarded nature is a testament to your emotional survival. You are protecting a rare and beautiful vulnerability that the wrong people would easily destroy. Fifth, and perhaps the most defining psychological trait of all, they possess an unyielding capacity for fierce loyalty, coupled with a terrifying ability to detach completely. This is the ultimate paradox of the genuinely good person. When you have earned their trust and proven your authenticity, they will move mountains for you. They will stand by you in your darkest hours. They will defend your name in rooms you are not in. And they will offer you a caliber of love and support that is practically non-existent in the modern world. Their loyalty is not conditional. It is absolute. They are the ones who will remember the tiny details of your life, who will show up when everyone else has abandoned you, and who will see the good in you even when you cannot see it in yourself. However, do not mistake their pure heart for foolishness. Do not mistake their kindness for weakness, because the very same psychological mechanism that allows them to love so deeply also allows them to walk away permanently. If they realize that their loyalty is being exploited, if they catch you manipulating their kindness, or if you betray their carefully placed trust, a profound psychological switch flips. This is not a dramatic, screaming exit. It is worse. It is a silent, cold, and absolute removal of their presence from your life. In psychology, this is known as the empathy drop, or door slam. Once they have rationally and emotionally concluded that you are toxic to their peace, they will cut the emotional cord with surgical precision. You will not get a second chance to manipulate them. You will not get a dramatic argument where you can gaslight them. They will simply look at you, process the reality of who you truly are, and walk away as if they never knew you. This rapid detachment is often shocking to those who took them for granted, Because abusers and manipulators assume that a kind person is an endless well of forgiveness. They fail to realize that a genuinely good person's boundaries are made of steel. They forgive, yes, but they do not forget. And they certainly do not allow repeat offenses. If you have the capacity to give someone your absolute everything, but also the self-worth to walk away, without a backward glance the moment respect is no longer served on the table, you possess an elite level of psychological resilience. In conclusion, operating with these 5 traits in a world that often feels chaotic, superficial, and deceptive can be an incredibly isolating experience. You may often wonder if something is inherently wrong with you for not fitting into the shallow molds that society demands. You may look at the ease with which others navigate superficial friendships, transactional relationships, and manipulative environments, and wonder why you cannot just play the game. But playing the game requires a suppression of the soul, a dimming of the very light that makes you who you are. The psychology of a genuinely good person is complex, burdened with deep thought, guarded by necessary walls, and refined by the fires of betrayal and hard-learned lessons. But it is also the most beautiful psychological profile one can possess. Your solitude is your strength. Your overthinking is your deep intelligence. Your ability to read people is your intuitive shield. Your reluctance to trust is your self-respect. And your fierce loyalty, combined with your absolute willingness to walk away, is your ultimate power. You are not meant to blend in. You are not meant to be easily understood by people who have not done the internal work to understand themselves. Keep your circle small, keep your boundaries impenetrable, and never apologize for the depth of your processing or the high price of your trust. If these traits describe you, hold on to them fiercely. You are not just rare. You are essential. You are the silent anchors of authenticity in a world drifting further into illusion.